Hello there everyone, welcome back to another video about the One Piece card game. This is the final video in my Set 5 set review series. We're talking about yellow today, and you know what that means. It's deck profile season very, very soon if you're seeing this on YouTube. But of course, if you're seeing this on Patreon, you've probably already got access to those deck profiles, which is a lovely little plug from me. Check out my Patreon, it's literally like a $5 a month. Like, it's so cheap. People are out here charging like 20, 30. I respect your money. Just give me a $5. And I'd appreciate it. If you also just want to support the channel, I'd also appreciate that. But anyway, let's go ahead and get talking about yellow, the worst color in the game. So it's actually okay. Look, I'm being somewhat like harsh, but also like, yeah, I kind of fucking hate this color. So Enel is our second monocolor leader in this set. It's insanely good. And it's a cockroach. So this is a 4-life monocolor leader, which says opponent's turn, once per turn, when the number of life cards becomes 0, when your number of life cards becomes 0, add 1 card from the top of your life, from the top of your deck to the top of your life cards. Then trash 1 card from your hand. So basically, when you hit 0 life, you heal 1, which functionally means this leader is like 5 life. In practice, it's like it's 6 or 7 with the amount of healing you do. Okay. It's really annoying. Ruling to be aware of. If your opponent attacks you with a double attack card when you are at 1, you will take the damage, resolve your leader effect, and then take another damage. So double attack hard counters this effect, which is really funny. Anyway, yeah, this is a cockroach. It's also Sky Island traded for the extent to which that will matter. Okay, let's talk about the characters. Firstly, we've got Amazon. This is a 3-cost 0, 1k counter. Opponent's attack. You may rest this character. Your opponent may trash 1 card from the top of their life cards. If they do not, give up to 1 of your opponent's leader or character cards minus 2k power during this turn. This is fucking terrible. Enel. This card is not terrible. This card is very good. 7/7. Rush. Once per turn. If this character would leave the field, you may trash 1 card from the top of your life instead. If there is a Monkey D. Luffy character, this effect is negated. So firstly, can I just say that's fucking hilarious. The fact that if you have a Luffy out, this does nothing, which is really, really, really funny. But yeah, a 7/7 Rusher is just very good, obviously. Like, that's very, very good. And the fact that you can just keep it around, especially in the context of Enel, where you're just going to be able to heal that back up. But even outside of that, like, sometimes it is, I would rather trash the top card of my life to just keep this guy on the field. It is only once per turn. But yeah, this is a sticky, very annoying card, and it's a Rusher. And like, don't sleep on that. So yeah, this card's very, very good. Next we got Ohm. This is another very good card. This is a 4/5, 1k counter. If you have 2 or less life cards, this character gains 1k power. So this just becomes a free 6k, 1 on 7k. Permanent, by the way, so on your opponent's turn as well. On play, look at the top 5 cards from your deck, reveal up to 1 Holly and add it to your hand. Then place the rest of the bottom of your deck in any order, and play up to 1 Holly from your hand. So this card is so good. Like, you get to search for the Holly. If you find it, you just play it. If you already had it in your hand, you just play it anyway. Yeah, and it's a 6k. So yeah, just all sorts of very, very, very good. Gedatsu. This is a 5/6, 1k counter. On play, KO up to 1 of your opponent's characters with a cost equal to or less than the number of your opponent's life cards. Honestly, this is usually just going to do nothing. But sometimes it will do something. It's a 5/6, so fundamentally, like, the stat line it has is pretty good. And obviously when you get to just pop something, that's always really, really nice. Hilariously, into other yellow decks, this is nuts because they're going to heal and you're going to go, cool, pop something big. So yeah, very, very funny. I think this card is fine. Kotori. This is a 3/3, 1k counter. On play, if you have a Hotori, KO up to 1 of your opponent's characters with a cost equal to or less than the number of your opponent's life cards. I would rather play Gedatsu. Bad. Konis. This is a 1-cost 0k, 2k counter. On play, you may place 1 of your stages at the bottom of your deck, draw 1 and trash 1. So you will never ever play this card ever, but you will be playing it for the 2k counter if you need it. Satori. This is a 5/5, 2k counter. Trigger, trash card from your hand, play this card. Good card, good. You will, if it's in your hand, you counter it, and if you trigger it, awesome, you get a body. Good card. Shura. This is a 2/2, 1k counter. On play, look at the top 5, add a Sky Island, other than Shura, add it to your hand, and then the trigger plays this card. Again, top 5 searcher, very, very good for 2. Good card, good. Lieutenant Spacey. This is a 3/4, 1k counter. Your turn, once per turn, when a card is added to your hand from your life, this character gains 2k during this turn. So this is kind of cool. I don't... Also, the moon trait is fucking hilarious. I don't think you are ever going to play this card, because I'm trying to think of some, like, what decks consistently just actually add stuff to hand and that's like any good. Yellow Big Mom is the only one I can think of where you are adding and then putting back, in which case this becomes free essentially. But like, you're not playing something that can't be searched in any way with this little of a payoff. So yeah, pretty bad. Next we have got Nola, the 5/7 vanilla. Next we have got Pagaya. This is a 1/1, 1k counter. Once per turn, when a trigger activates, draw 2 and trash 2. Again, you are never wasting like deck space with something like this. Holly is of course a 4-off because of Ohm, but it's also like a vanilla 3/5, so it's fine. They definitely could have made the Holly worse. Hotori, this is a 3/3. On play, you may play 1 Kotori from your hand, add up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 3 or less to the top or bottom of your opponent's life cards face up. So the idea is, you play this, you put one of their cheap things into their life, which makes your Kotori do more. Really, really bad combo here, guys. I'm not going to play that shit. Next, we got Captain McKinley. This is a 3/3. Blocker, and on KO, play up to 1 Sky Island type character card with the cost of 1 from your hand. So close to being maybe playable. I'm of course joking. This is bad. Yama, 2/2, Blocker. You play this card because it is Blocker and it's searchable. So yeah, as you can see, the NL deck kind of just builds itself with the only playable cards that exist, and then you just supplement it with like other good yellow cards. Let's talk about some of the events, because some of these are crazy. So L4, this is a 1-cost event. Counter, up to one of your leader or character cards gains 2k power during this battle. Then, if your opponent has 2 or less life cards, that card gains an additional 2k power during this battle. So this is really, really good, because late game, based on your opponent, of course, but you know, late game, it's a 1-drop 4k. That's great. We've seen how good Rad Beam is. And then trigger, K up to one of your opponent's characters with the cost equal to or less than the number of your opponent's life cards. So early game, this trigger is again pretty good. Popping a 4 or a 5 on a trigger is very nice. So yeah, just very good card. Next, 200 million volts Amaru. This is a 2-cost event. Main, up to one of your leader or character cards gains 3k during this turn. Then, if you have 1 or less life cards, rest up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 4 or less. So you get to tap down a blocker, usually, and get a 8k ring with leader or something else. Very, very good. Trigger, you may trash 2 cards from your hand. Heal 1. As you can see, yellow is a fucking casino. Because if you hit this on a kill turn, you just win. Yay. Isn't that fun? One of the many reasons I detest NL. And just yellow in general. Because this is the fucking gameplay that they have, right? It's just like, oh, do I high roll you? Hey, you couldn't have won no matter what. Anyway. It's obviously a very good card. Hino, Bird, Zap. This is a 2-cost event. Main, K up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost equal to or less than the number of your opponent's life cards, and trigger activates the main. This is like never gonna see play. It's so bad. And finally, Upper Yard. This is a stage, 1-cost stage. On play, look at up to 5 cards on the top of your deck, reveal up to 1 Sky Island type card, add it to your hand, then place the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order. This seems like you would probably want to play it, because you can play stages over stages, so like, I mean, it's essentially like it's a 1-cost event, essentially, right? But in the future, there are ways to interact with stages where this actually does end up mattering, like, and you need it for cost. So it's pretty decent. It gets better in the future. Overall, it's yellow, baby. Welcome to the casino. If you have not accepted your casino lifestyle by playing this color yet, just do it. Like, I mean, realistically, this deck, it's hard carried by the fact that you have a searchable 7k rusher that's really sticky. You have the Ohm Holly combo, which is very high value, and you get to play all these old cards that heal you, like 7-drop Mum and 9-drop Yamato, which just makes your leader effect very, very good. As you have noticed, none of that sounds that crazy in isolation, and the only way you actually convert that into a win is by also hitting bullshit triggers. So, as you can see, I'm not a fan of this deck. I think it's mid as fuck. I think the leader itself is kind of busted, and in the future, it's definitely going to be problematic as we hit a critical mass of like really, really stupid good triggers and ways to heal. But for now, I think it's pretty mid. I think it's at 6, that might be different. But there we go. I think it is the worst of the competitive decks. That's it for this video. I hope you guys found it useful. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please like the video, subscribe to the channel for more One Piece card game content. Of course, check out my Patreon, where you can find fantastic content for the low, low price of £5 a month. I would really appreciate it if you did support the channel, because that would go a long way to helping me afford Max Rarity Sakabozo. That's it for this one. Thanks so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Cheers.